A very good afternoon, everyone. Hi, and welcome to the stream. I'm DJ Sean, and welcome through to a slightly tweaked stream for Wednesday, which isn't normally a night that I stream. Unfortunately, last night, good old DCS got the best of me again, and we weren't able to stream it. Unfortunately, I had a whole bunch of issues in DCS. All my key binds had been reset. A lot of my VR settings had been changed, and the tweaks that I had made had all been removed. And I'd spent the better part of an hour, almost an hour and a half, trying to get it going before the stream, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get there. So feeling like I'm a little bit cheated out of a stream today, or this week so far. So here we are in the Zibo 737 in X-Plane, which touchwood is still functioning fine. Myself personally, actually before I even get that far, if you haven't seen me before, hi, I am DJ Sean. I am a charity streamer. I do this to raise money and awareness for various charities throughout the year. This month we're raising money for Red Cross Australia, which is a fantastic humanitarian organisation within Australia that raises money for helping people that have just gone through natural disasters. They do blood banks and blood drives to get up critical blood supplies for those who need it the most. And I'm very grateful to be able to support those guys through the month of October. You can find all the information below in regards to them, and 100% of your donation does go through to charity, and I do it live on stream at the end of each month. Alrighty, so talking about me personally, tonight we're going to be operating the Zibo 737. We've gone from version... Oh, there's been so many versions over the last 72 hours. I think we've gone from version N for November through to O, potentially. So we've jumped a couple of versions there. I think I actually was on version M. Or maybe I think I was potentially. Anyway, we've gone we've jumped a few versions here, and we're going to be operating between Sydney and Brisbane. This is the exact leg I did today in real life. The weather was crap. We had I think at some point we had a ceiling down at 600 feet, and busted out visual into runway 16 left, and it was quite a nice flight in terms of weather. Unfortunately, it looks like even though it is raining in real life in Sydney, it looks like the weather here in the sim has not gotten better, but it's not raining at the moment. It looks like so. It's that really bad weather that I was talking about in Sydney seems to have gotten a little bit better in the sim world anyway. But well, hopefully it starts raining or it gets a little bit worse before we do get underway. If not, the weather in Brisbane looks like it's going to take a turn. There's definitely some thunderstorms just to the west of the airfield, and they are forecasting some bad weather there for Brisbane. Okay, as usual, what we'll do for these streams is we go through the flight plan, configure the aircraft, do a departure briefing, talk to any ATC as we are online, and then get underway. So having said all that, let's go and have a bit of a look at the flight plan now. So we are operating Velocity 973 from Sydney through to Brisbane today, 10th of October 2018. One thing I want to do is stipulate, unlike some of the other streams I've been doing lately, this is real time and real weather. So we'll be flying as the sun is setting outside my apartment at the moment, as is the sun setting in the simulator. Okay, so the trip time, the flight plan says about an hour and 10 minutes. I think on the way back up it was about an hour and 8, so that's very close to the real world. It's requiring about just shy of 3.3 tonnes of fuel. We've got a contingency there of 300 kilos. We're taking another tonne for an alternate, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. We've also got our fixed reserve there of 30 minutes. So the minimum required is just a tiny bit under 6 tonne. But we've got 5.8 required, plus the taxi gives us a weight or a fuel there of we ran it up to 6 tonne. If you look at my lovely head here, and just to the right of my head, you'll see that we've got 6.1 in there at the moment. So well and truly what we need. Looking across over here at the weights now, so we are very, very heavy. The aircraft is close to being full tonight. Not unusual for this time of the evening for it to be very busy out of Sydney, operating both to Melbourne and to Brisbane. And we've got a zero fuel weight of 61.7 tonnes. When we go and add on the fuel there of 5.988 tonnes, minus the taxi, gives us a takeoff weight of 67.5 tonnes. So yeah, we are quite heavy tonight. minus our trip fuel there, we should be landing at around 64.3 or 64.2, 64.3 tons. One of the things we need to keep in the back of our mind, though, that the maximum landing weight for this aircraft is only 66.3 tons. So with being substantially over that weight here, that will definitely have implications for us should we have some problems, and we'll cover that during the departure brief. For now, all we need to remember is that we're going to be overweight. Okay, so looking at the schedule, so it is 0745, which you can see just on top of my head. We're due out in about 25 minutes at 0810 Zulu, so I think by the time we get the briefing, the aircraft configured up, and review the flight plan, get the aircraft configured up and do the briefing, we should be pretty close to that time. And due in at 0945, so fairly standard, landing at around 0939 and being onto the base shortly after that. But yeah, we're using 01 today. I imagine in Brisbane they're still using 01, so that might be a relatively short taxi back into the bay. Okay, so looking beyond those times now, the wind at top of a climb. So we talk about our top of climb shear rate. This talks about the cruise segment of our flight and how smooth it's going to be. It's relatively smooth up there. The weather is all on the lower levels, and this mimics very much what the real aircraft experienced today. Earlier in today, that hasn't changed very much. Shear rate of 3, so we can expect a fairly smooth flight. We know anything greater than 6 indicates that we can have a few bumps there in the cruise. Flight level 370 today, 37,000 feet. The wind up there is 276 degrees at 50 knots. And there's just a little bit of information there about that shear rate at greater than 6. So alternate. So the weather in the Gold Coast, the weather up and down the actual east coast of Australia here at the moment is quite, not quite bad, but it is challenging. Some airports like the Gold Coast and Coffs Harbour aren't too much better, if not worse, actually, than Brisbane. So that changes the way that we do our alternate planning a little bit. So instead of coming south to the Gold Coast, it's not far enough away to escape some of the weather around Brisbane or inclement conditions about to bestow themselves on Brisbane. So we're actually going to be heading north, and I'll speak about that in a little bit. So for our alternate summary here, we've got the Gold Coast, obviously there, it's only going to take us 17 minutes. We've got Coffs there, and we've got Rocky there. And I'm pretty sure I chose Rocky as the alternate here. I don't know why it's done that, but nevertheless, it's easy enough to get to Rocky. Don't worry about the contingency summary for this flight. This page is the business end of the flight plan. I will skip this for now, and we'll come back to it and explain in a little bit more detail as we start configuring up the flight management computer. Looking down here now, this is the segment of the flight plan that has each waypoint along the way, including our top of climb, any step climbs that we would have during the flight, which we don't today, and our top of descent point. It talks about the time that we're going to have to each waypoint, the time between waypoints, and the time remaining on the plan, as well as the expected fuel that we should have on board over each waypoint. It also has the wind and ISA and temperature deviations, as well as the expected segment of the flight, so the climb segment there, our cruise segment, and then our descent segment there. It's also got the airways and a couple of other little bits of information. So continuing down through that and letting me sneeze. Excuse me. Do I need to go again? Yes. Excuse me. So that's just the end of the plan there. Okay, we have. Oh, that's interesting. It's a slight error in that flight plan. I didn't choose the Gold Coast as our primary alternate. I chose Rockhampton, but that's okay. We can just fly direct until we get some airways and then fix that up. Should we need to divert? That would typically be Rockhampton. It's no big drama that it's not there. Okay, so the important part of our plan today that's going to have a big impact on the flight is the weather. So what we'll do is we'll go through and review, and you'll see quite clearly that the weather further north is a lot better than the weather south. So first up, we are here in Sydney, so our origin is Sydney. You can see that UTC is plus 11, good old daylight savings for us. And the weather was taken at 0630, so about an hour and 29 or an hour and 20 minutes ago. The wind is 160 at 23 knots, so it's quite substantial. Good visibility though. A few clouds at 1800 feet, broken at 3200 feet, and overcast at 4.5. Temperature 15, dew point 10, altimeter 1019. So always like to do that while I initially go through the plan here. So I'm just going to very quickly get that set up on the flight deck. No significant weather events. Looking a little bit later on, between on the 10th, between 06 and the next day, so we're in it now. We should expect that wind though to creep up between at 170 degrees, between 20 gusting 30 knots. That visibility remains pretty good at just over 10,000 meters. Showers of rain moving through the area, and that cloud descending, scattered at 1500, broken at 2.5. Okay, from today at 0800 Zulu, so in about 10 minutes, we can expect that wind to pick up 170 at 15, gusting to 5 knots. The visibility remains pretty good. That showers of rain we should come in, and scattered cloud at 2.5 and broken at 3.5. Looking a little bit later on, another couple of hours into the future there, we'll see that wind die off a little bit, but continuing to rain in Sydney, and continuing to have again low cloud. Looking much later on, that wind still pretty strong there, just swinging around a little bit. Good visibility and more rain. Okay, so looking at Brisbane now. So this observation was taken at 0630. So yeah, again, very similar time that the Sydney observation was taken. There you go. Wind is almost identical to what it was earlier today. 010 at 15 knots. Good visibility. A few clouds at 3000. Scattered at flight level 250. So some high cloud there. 23 degrees, a bit warmer than good old Sydney, with a dew point of 20 degrees. QNH 1009. So a bit off the 1019 for Sydney. As that low moves in. We're looking a little bit later on now. That wind is going to swing around a little bit to the right. It's going to stay fairly constant. Good visibility, but we're going to see some showers of rain, and scattered at 4000. So from 0900 Zulu, so by the time we get there, that wind is going to swing around again to the left of 7 knots. We're going to have good visibility and showers of rain, and scattered at 3000. Looking at much later on, we're going to again have the wind swinging right around, and still maintain good visibility with showers of rain, but that cloud's coming down now, so we're going to see it down to 1000 feet and broken at 2.5. Looking much later on, again that wind remains from the south, good visibility and showers of rain, and that cloud just getting a little bit higher. So we do have an interactive for the segment this flight, for this airport rather, which is active now until we land, of that visibility coming down to 3000 meters, showers of rain, then cloud broken at 1000 feet. We also have a tempo active, of probability of 40% that that wind is going to be really variable, but coming up to 20 knots, and going up to gusting of 40 knots. So that weather is turning around a little bit. The visibility coming right in, and we're going to have thunderstorms in the area, and broken clouds at 1000 feet, and scattered and thunderstorms at 4000. So hopefully we get some of that when we get up there. It'll be nice to see whether we have to track around maybe some thunderstorms. All the thunderstorms at the moment in southeast Queensland are inland, making their way to the coast, but sort of drifting northwards. So hoping some of those come out over the Gold Coast maybe, and drift up the coast that way. That would be quite nice. Speaking of the Gold Coast, so again with the similar time for this observation, this weather was not done by any observation by a human. It was all done auto-magically. The wind is 360 at 13. We've got good visibility. We got a good, very similar temperature to Brisbane, QNH 1009. But there's showers of rain moving through the area. There's some more showers later on, and we've got the Inter also active there for the Gold Coast, and a probability of only 30% there with that tempo, that we're going to have strong winds, and again very similar conditions to Brisbane. Why I didn't choose the Gold Coast as our alternate is because it is rather close to Brisbane, and we're seeing that as with matching very similar weather observations between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. The distance between the two is only about 100 k's, I think, if that. My geography around that area I probably should pay more attention to. So it's not a long distance, but the Gold Coast doesn't have an ILS in it, so it does have higher minimums on one of the runways. It's got a nice big mountain out the front of it, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to get into in weather like that. So I'd hate to get to Brisbane, can't get into Brisbane. I'd hate to go down to the Gold Coast and can't get into Gold Coast, because then we're starting to have some real issues. So COFs. Good old COFs again, auto-generated through the use of computer observation and not by any adjustment or observation by a human. The wind is 190 at 20, almost 20 knots. The visibility is right down there, only 6,000 meters. There's showers of rain. There's low cloud, or scattered at 2100, which is quite low around that area. Broken at 3,700. Overcast at 5,300. We've got a temperature of 19 and dew point of 18, QNH1018. We've got some more rain, but we've got some wind really picking up. And we've got some low cloud descending at about the time we would get there. Again, there's a tempo active for that area where the visibility is going to come right in, really low cloud there. And there's more thunderstorms, with cloud even getting lower, potentially down to 800 feet. So COFs is definitely not an option for us. Okay, so we've gone from Brisbane here, we've gone to the Gold Coast, and now we've gone down to COFs. So let's go north and see what we've got north. So looking at Rocky, we've got, again, observation similar time, 320 at 7 knots, winds is okay. Cav okay, pretty bloody hot, 33 degrees, QNH 1009. Looking much later on, the weather is going to remain fairly constant, Cav okay. We won't be there by then, even if we diverted. You're still active there, where we're going to have some thunderstorms moving through the area. Maybe some low cloud, but probability of 30%. That Cav okay there, it gives us our best chance of getting in. So that's the weather. So bit of a mixed bag all around southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales at the moment. But Rocky's probably our choice should we need to divert. Okay, so looking at the chart here, I do apologise as usual for this being sideways. As you can see, we're starting here on the right-hand side. The yellow line is the direct line between the two airports, and our red is our actual flight plan. So you can see we're going to have a fairly decent crosswind the whole way, with a slight tailwind as we go up to Brisbane. Okay, well that's the review of the flight plan now. So what we're going to do is go do the checks, get the aircraft ready for our flight, do a departure briefing, and get underway. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and do that. So go ahead and do a test. Go ahead and test you. Checking everything. 37. Whoops. Good old X-Plane Zoom getting the better of me. Okay, so let's go ahead now and do the checklist. Bring you over here. Okay, so the pre-flight checklist is oxygen was tested 100% my side, tested 100% your side. The navigation, transfer and display switches, that's these guys here. They're all normal and auto. The window heat, that's the 4 switches up the back here. They're on, the 4 switches just there. The pressurization mode selector, that's this guy over here. He's on auto, and we've taken that opportunity to set our cruise of 37,000 feet and the landing altitude into Brisbane of the closest 50. The flight instruments, I've got heading 267 my side. I've got heading 267 your side. I've got QNH 1019. I've got QNH 1019 and QNH 1019 on your side. The parking brake is set, and the engine start levers are cut off. That's the pre-flight checklist complete. Alrighty, let's go over here now and get the aircraft set up. We're heading from Sydney through to Brisbane, and I'll go ahead now and get the flight plan back up so you guys can see it, and we'll go through that together. Okay, so our flight number today is Velocity 973. 73. I might get a, if I can, I might get just turn you off, get a bit of panel lighting in here, turn you back on. I'll make it a little bit better for us as that sun sets. excuse me. The company route, so we are flying from Sydney to Brisbane. 1, yeah, activate. 16 left and 16 right. It'll be 16 left for this departure. The departure is going to be a Kevin 6 to enter, execute legs. That all looks fairly good. We'll go through and review that in just a few minutes. The performance initialization. So this is the business end of the flight plan in regards to configuring up the FMC. You can see that we've got our route at the top here, so runway 16 right, what's got right, it'll be left, direct enter. It'll be a Kevin 6 to enter transition, then we jump on the Y 245 to Bandar, H185 to Cooley. Over the top of Cooley we maybe jump on the Cooley to Papa into Brisbane runway 01. We'll assess that as we get a little bit closer. The distance for this flight is 426 nautical miles, and there's that profile of 37,000 feet. The FMC data entry is now where we will get the information plugged in from. So we've got a 0 fuel weight there under a ZFW of 61.7. We've got a reserve of 2.2. A cost index of 20. 37,000 feet is our cruising altitude. The wind up there is 276 at 50. Go ahead and execute that, and the temperature up there is a negative 52. Transition altitude 10,000 feet in Australia. RN1 limit we can, it's 15 degrees here, so we're going to do a /15. We'll do a standard D rate. We won't, D rate to 24k. We won't do a D rate in the climb. We'll aim to punch through that weather as quickly as possible, get on the top of it, and get on with the flight. The conditions here in Sydney are not wet at the moment, so we're going to leave it on dry, but we're just going to plug in that wind that we're seeing here in Sydney. 160 at 23. 160 at 23. Leave it as dry for now. Flaps 5 for our departure with our centre of gravity gives us that. It's pretty good for that, and there are our takeoff weights. Okay, checking out the cruise segment, 301 at 2.781. That's close enough to company. 0.78 is for the descent, and /280. Actually, it's just 280. Oh, that worked for this. We're going to the forecast page. The transition level on the way in is 110, and we're now going to look at the descent aspect, or the descent column of the flight plan. And by putting in some altitudes lower than our cruise level on the descent page, this gives the FMC a proper, or gives us more information to calculate a more accurate top of descent. So we'll choose a couple of weather, levels under our flight level. 360 is too close to 370, so we'll go under that. So 290 is the first one we'll go to. 220 is the next one, and 140 after that. The wind at 290 is at 269 at 72. The wind at 220 is 275 at 46. And the wind at 140 is 271 at 28. 271 at 28. Execute that guy there with the progress. We're looking at landing in Brisbane with about 2.7 tons. That's the landing weight. We'll just go down here. The plan says we're going to land with about 2.5. So 200 kilos up on the plan, which is good. That's exactly what the position we want to be in. It will obviously get a little bit more accurate the closer we get to Brisbane. Okay, so now that we've got the FMC plugged in, I'm going to configure the aircraft for our departure, and then I'll go through and do a departure briefing, and it'll all make sense. For those of you on the stream, if you've got any questions during the departure brief, please let me know. I see it is rather quiet here, but there's only 5 people watching, so that's okay. So I'll go ahead and configure the aircraft now. Due out in 6 minutes. Okay, so get some charts up. We've already got the ground chart. We want a chart for 16 left. You'll see all this in just a few moments, guys. I'm just going to get it all pre-organised. Kevin 6. Okay, so we've got here 155. We want a V2 of 149. So we want flight director my side, flight director your side. 149. Jesus, I thought you were configuring for takeoff the whole time. Hey buddy, how are ya? Well, I guess it's all, configuration towards the ultimate goal of blasting off, I guess. So yeah, I guess in fact, you're probably right. We'll just go up to 5,000, you there. LNAV and VNAV. Down here, 1095, 1121 will set on you. We'll bring you in a little bit. Vijay, hey buddy, how you going? Welcome to the stream, my friend. 122, just some more. 8 for Unicom. That there. Train my side.
And his name is John C.
Shamport, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the stream. If you've got any questions, by all means, that invitation extends to you. Please shout out, and we can discuss them. 220 on you. 220 on you. You're set, you're set. Alrighty guys, so what I'm going to do now is a bit of a departure briefing. I'm just going to organise our pushback first. Better pushback, pre-plan. And we go up to you and...
Grab the cockpit, show you we got your plan there. Give me a call through the menu when you're ready to go.
Vijay, no, not for across the pond. We're operating from Sydney through to Brisbane. So the weather in Brisbane is deteriorating. The weather in Sydney is a little bit better than when I flew out of here in real life today, but it is meant to be pretty bad. So yeah, just doing a bit of a short sector today to make up for me missing a stream from last night. Okay, so this is the departure briefing now, guys. If anyone's got any questions, please shout out. With 4 minutes, now 3 minutes to go, I need to get through this for an on-time departure. Okay, so bring up the chart so you guys can see us just there. That makes it a little bit easier. So we have reviewed the weather. We're not reviewing the ATIS, the weather. We're not reviewing the NOTAMs. We haven't got that kind of time. For looking at our pushback orientation, we are sitting here at Sydney Airport on domestic 3. So it'll be a pushback tail right, nose left pushback. And then it's going to be a taxi along Charlie, crossing 25 and 07 down to Bravo 10, and then for blasting off runway 16 left. Sorry for not being clear. Are you going to fly across the pond? Oh, I am looking at it at the moment. I am looking at it. So I assume you prefer this over MS Flight X. I didn't know this existed. I go DCS for my realism, but MS is fun commercial stuff. Might have to give this a try. I fly primarily X-Plane because they do virtual reality amazingly, and you'll see me in VR after we get through the departure brief. Okay, so we are blasting off runway 16 left from this side. So guys on the stream, you are my virtual FOs. So it's going to be a left-hand seat takeoff, which means it's going to be my takeoff. Dead shot, I think X-Plane 11 over FSX for sure. So it's going to be a left-hand seat takeoff. It's a flaps 5, 24k D rate. We haven't put wet runway on. So guys, anything from 0 knots from the moment we get on the runway up to 80 knots. If there's anything you see on the stream or see happening in the aircraft that you don't like, please punch it in on chat. I'll have a quick look at it and make an assessment on what we do. From 80 knots through to V1, I'm only going to abort for something like an engine failure or loss of control of the aircraft. From V1, we take the problem into the sky. So talking about taking the problem into the sky, I've got this chart up here, which is the ILS chart for runway 16 left. So we are taking off runway 16 left. They're doing arrivals and departures into 16 left here at the moment, so it's the natural choice that we'll just go a series of left-hand turns and come back in and land. Now, for those of you who were with me for the flight plan analysis that we went through the flight plan, you'll know that I spoke about weight and takeoff weight. We are 100% chockers today. So with the fuel that we're taking to Brisbane and then our alternate fuel to get us to Rockhampton, we are over our max landing weight. Aircraft typically have very different takeoff weights to max landing weights. So we are over our max landing weight by about 2 tons from memory. So if the problem is not serious enough that we have to come straight back like an uncontained fire or anything like that, or severe loss of control of the aircraft or control function of the aircraft that warrants us on a timely return to the field, we'll stay up there and burn some fuel. Thank you both Deadshot and VJ for the follows. Welcome to the channel, my friends. Welcome.
And his name is John C.
So, speaking about being overweight, the 737, for those of you who don't know, doesn't have any fuel jettison. So, typical operating procedure to burn off fuel is to leave the gear down, leave the speed brakes up, and leave a stage of flap out or a couple of stages of flap out. That'll give you a nice high N1, and all we have to do is sit there churning through the fuel for an hour or 2 hours. This probably won't take us 2 hours, it'll probably take us about an hour, maybe 45 minutes to get underweight to come straight back. If we have a serious problem with the aircraft that warrants us coming straight back, we'll have to accept an overweight landing and try and pull off a very smooth landing back into 1/6 left. Speaking of 1/6 left, I have got it set up just here. Sorry guys, I see you guys are chatting there. I don't think, yeah, you need me for just any of that right at the moment, so I'll continue with the departure briefing, but I'll be back with you very soon. So it calls for a heading of 155, and I have done a slight error there, so I'm just going to quickly fix that up. So it calls for course 155, so which we've got set here. We've got 155 set on my side, 155 set on your side, and we've got the ILS frequency 110.9 set there, as you can see on the chart, and we've got our minimums of 220 feet. Looking at the chart in particular, you can see that we've got a minimum safe altitude around Sydney of 2,700 feet. So as long as we stay above that within 10 nautical miles of the field, we're not going to hit anything. So hopefully if we do have some serious problem, hey buddy, just doing the departure brief, give me a sec. We should be okay. If we're having some really serious issues trying to get up there, we know that we've got the ocean to our right, well, to the east. So we're not going to hit anything if we fly out over there. I don't know if it's a really tall ship over there, but we'll see what it is. We're flying an X-plane, Deadshot. So we'll just come straight back and do a nice landing into runway 16 left. So provided that nothing does go wrong and we do depart successfully off 16 left, we're going to be doing the Kevin 6 departure, which is chart 10-31 effective the 24th of May. It calls for us to fly heading 155, and then at 500 feet we need to turn left to intercept the 100 degrees to jump on the 128 radial out to Kevin. From there we then turn left to 080, and passing 10,000 feet we're going to turn left and go direct to Entra. So fairly straightforward. If we look in the box here, you can see 500 feet or above. We then turn left. It's another left-hand turn to Kevin. At 10,000 feet we then swing it round to Entra. What could possibly go wrong? Shiny Huntsman, hey, Shiny Hunter Matt, sorry buddy, that's when I quickly glance over your name. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Okay, so to aid us in our flight, we are using LNAV and VNAV, and should we have issues with the aircraft, we'll use those to aid me in flying the aircraft. It's going to be terrain my side until we get airborne above or when we get cleaned up, and then I'll switch through to weather on my side. The weather here in Sydney does pose a bit of a threat, so we'll be on the lookout for any thunderstorms or any severe turbulence that pops up on the weather radar as we jet off through to Brisbane. Okay, well that concludes the departure brief, everyone. I've gone over a 4-minute departure briefing. Jesus, it's my longest departure briefing ever. So we are 3 minutes late, but safety first, right? So what I'll do now, guys, is jump into VR, and then we'll get underway. Deadshot, this is a free 737. This is done by Zibbo, which is absolutely fantastic. But other aircraft like the A320 and 777, you do need to pay for. The airline now has to offer refunds. Okay, well I think that's me good. So a quick sip of beer. and then we'll get underway. Alrighty, let's go ahead now and get everything ready. So using the Oculus Rift tonight to fly in VR. Oops, got an extra cable. Hopefully I don't need that. Get my Rift controllers. So I am on a temporary keyboard here at the moment. I had a lovely big not Logitech, a big SteelSeries M800 keyboard that I absolutely love to bits. After numerous beer spilling moments in VR, I finally killed it. So as of today, half the keyboard was now dead, and it's now being replaced with a very temporary keyboard until I can come up with something else. Yeah, that's it's dead. And I found out that SteelSeries, who I love, like a SteelSeries headset, SteelSeries mouse, SteelSeries used to have a SteelSeries keyboard. They've discontinued the M800, which I loved a lot. So I have to come up with a different model. Alas, but we continue on. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into VR. For those of you on the stream, the screen is just going to go black here for a wee second while we go ahead now and jump into VR. So just give me a second, guys, and then I'll be back with you. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Get another controller going here, jump into you, and welcome back to the flight deck. Just get my headset on my face, right. There we go. I am always truly amazed at how good VR looks when you first get into it, even after flying it every day of the week. When you first get into VR and sit here on the flight deck of a 737-800, it truly is a breathtaking experience. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get some things into VR. So monitor 2, so we'll first grab the chat. Hey guys, we'll bring you up and chuck you just there. If you fly across the pond, let me know where I'm thinking of doing a group flight. Yeah, no worries, VJ, absolutely, buddy. No worries. And we'll bring the charts into VR. Get hold of you there, and we don't need you, so we'll go ahead and close you. And we'll chuck you there, leave you on there. We want monitor 1, choose you, and close. I'm going to buy this when I can play my PC. Yeah, Deadshot, X-Plane is absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and close you and say goodbye to all the guys there. Whoops, you're on. We're going to turn the panel brightness up a little bit because it's getting a little bit dark in here. Fuel pump's on. Nothing in the center tank. Where'd you get the charts there? Hey, Barb, this is a Navigraph charts program, which is just Navigraph charts desktop app that I've brought into VR using the Oculus software. Oh, this is fucking nuts. Yeah, for those of people who haven't seen it before, it is a little bit funky. Okay, so let's go do a checklist now. I'll bring the checklist over here a little bit. Okay, so the checklist we want to do is the before start checklist. So fuel, we've got 6. Oh, Jesus. Cleared takeoff. Thank you so much for the host, buddy. God damn it, I need to change that sound file. It scares the shit out of me. Thank you so much for the host, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So we've got 6 tons on board as per the plan, and the pumps are on. We don't need. We've got nothing in the center tank, so the center pumps are off. The passenger signs are both on. The windows are locked my side. They're locked your side. In this aircraft, they don't actually open. So you don't use a joystick to control the aircraft. Yeah, for DCS you do, not for this. Love your work, mate. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate the support. Thanks, mate. For X-Plane bar, I just grabbed the yoke and all the knobs and knockers. Okay, so the MCP, I'm just going to close that for a second. The MCP, we've got our V2 speed of 149, heading 155 and 5,000 set. The takeoff speeds, we've got 140 for V1, we've got 141 for rotate, and 149 for our climb out speed, which we've also got on the MCP. The CDU pre-flight is completed. The trim is over here. He's free and 0. The taxi and takeoff briefing has been completed to the line. Below the line, the flight deck door is closed and locked, and the anti-collision light is now on. Before start checklist is complete. Yeah, but you do oh, we've got Brisbane Centre, Sydney traffic. We've got Brisbane DOS on. I don't know if that's something we need to connect to. Hang on, let's just check. You there, Barbs?
No.
Brisbane DOS.
I'll pick you up as you come past Intra.
Okay, copy, mate. Okay, so that's the checklist done. Let's go ahead now and organise the pushback. I probably shouldn't have turned off the tablet here because I need you to organise that. We want ground services, you, better pushback and request pushback. We're just going to get a slight loading screen here for a second.
Ground to cockpit, toast driving up right now.
Here he comes. G'day, buddy. Through the building, because that's how we roll in Sydney. YOLO. So looking here. We're not ready for you yet. Oh, I've been playing Infinite Flight on my iPad. Here he comes. Don't dent my aeroplane, asshole. No, buddy, I don't. I don't fly the A320. I'm more of a Boeing man myself. Okay, so we were due out at 0810, so we're 10 minutes late. So we're putting that down to flight crew procedures.
Alright, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect?
You are cleared to connect. And let's get a quick beer before... Let's get have another couple of sips of beer before we get underway. No doubt I'll knock that over in a minute anyway. Who is still like me using FSX with no payware add-ons? Oh, VJ. Buddy, the whole world is passing you by. You've got to get on it. Oh, what was that? Sydney traffic, boogie. Oh, that's 116 right now. That's cool. Is the 0737 much different from the default X-plane? Oh, it's very different. So think of the 737. So I don't know if you know the PMDG 737.
Connected and bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake when you're ready.
You think of if the PMDG 737 is 100. So if the real aircraft is 100%, the PMDG is say 90%. This is probably 80%, and the default 737 is probably 20%, 10%. This is 11. Okay, well, we're ready to go there, so brakes are off.
Alright, starting the pushback, and you may spool them. Clear to start engines.
Just got up, so if you don't use a joystick, how do you control it? You can put us through the aero bridge, buddy, that's okay, no worries. So I use these guys, and I grab the yoke, and I grab the throttle, and yeah, I just fly like that. You'll see it all in a few minutes. The only controller I use is rudder pedals because there's no way around it. You need toe brakes and you need a rudder. Yeah, that's right. There is no feedback. But it's funny, I am getting used to it, and there was a day where I was coming into Sydney where the wind was gusting something fierce, and I was really working, and I didn't notice the no feedback. I'd landed, and I was almost saturated with sweat, and it wasn't until I lifted off my headset when we were on the bay, and I went, holy shit, I'm not in an aircraft. I totally disconnected from reality, and I was flying a 7.3, and I was sweating and I was working hard, and I've done that on a joystick, so it's almost like, yeah, and the thing that sticks in my mind the most about that flight is not the fact that I had no feedback because I was just moving my hand through air, it was the fact that I was doing that, so it's yeah, it is interesting. So these are just the Oculus controllers that come with your Oculus Rift, so they're nothing fancy. Okay, let's go ahead now and start the engine. So you're off, you're off, you're off, switch you and you. Starting 2. You got me talking, guys, I forgot to start the engine. Hey, you on center. Who's that? that is. Oh, Matt Coles. Why can't I talk to those guys? Alright, there's fuel coming in.
Alright, mate. Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Alright, mate. Disconnecting toes. Stand by.
I know. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second. I just need to lift my headset up here for a second. My apologies, guys. That's why. Sorry. I just needed to fix something up in Discord, which was stopping me from being able to transmit. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Are you on center, Barbs? Are you?
Yeah, mate.
Copy. Okay, that's a good start on engine 2. So we're looking for the 20s for you, we're looking for the 400s for you. Hey Matt, how are you, buddy? And the 60s for M2. Not bad, buddy, just getting started, so just give us a few minutes. So that's a good start on 2, starting 1. Are those real players talking to you?
Toes disconnected. Bypass pin.
Yeah, go. See you later, VJ.
Give you thumbs up on the right and catch you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thumbs up on the right. Okay. No, there's just some couple of people in my Discord talking to me. Sydney. Sydney to Brisbane.
Okay.
And 25, there's coming the fuel in now. Well, we have got some traffic here in Sydney. Oh, thumbs up. Thanks, buddy. The thumbs up on the right-hand side. We would normally be a little bit more advanced in the process now, where the aircraft would be going through the checklist, giving him the thumbs up that we're okay to go. And we're a little bit late here in the flow because I was talking a little bit, so whoops. Okay, so there was started cut out there just a few minutes ago, just a few seconds ago rather, and the engine looking fairly stable as it comes up here through to 2021. So if you get this game, I can use the airport trucks. Deadshot, sorry, when you say use the airport trucks, how do you mean? Okay, that's a good start on that, so let's go ahead now and flaps 5. Up to you. You're off, you're on, you. You there, don't need to worry about you. Okay, the checklist, please. Oops. So we want the before taxi checklist. So the generators are on, the Pro-Pete is on, the anti-ice is not required, the isolation valve is auto, the engine start switches for this aircraft are auto, recall has now been checked, the auto brake is RTO, engine start levers are idle detent, flight controls have not been checked. Watch your knees, guys. So this is me grabbing the controls now. And rudder right, center, rudder left, center, flight controls checked, and dispatch clearance we got there is also checked. Before taxi checklist is complete. Lights off. No, Marky, you can't. It's really about flying the aircraft. Okay, we're ready to go. So, all stations Sydney, velocity 973 IFR 737 800, taxis runway 16 left, traffic Sydney. Okay, so taxi light on, APU off, we are clear left, and we're clear right, brakes are off, a little bit of power, let's go. Okay, so we've got an aircraft, we've got a couple of aircraft on approach into Sydney. They're a little bit far away at the moment. So we're going to go down here onto, actually we can took it right just here and then onto Charlie.
Yeah, there's one on short final, there's one joining the ILS.
What runways?
One on short final 16 left, there's one joining the ILS 16 right, and there's one just joining the ILS 16 left.
Okay, copy. And there's one departing velocity 1535.
Yeah, I can't see aircraft on the ground.
Okay, copy. So that's a real player there, guys. That's a real person flying just there. So Bravo 4, we want to go around here to Charlie, which is just coming up here on the left. That's this guy just here. Yeah, there's Charlie. So we come around here to the left. Hopefully this guy here knows which way to taxi, and he doesn't come onto Charlie here because that'll be embarrassing. There you go. You got a Jetstar flight 849. That's another player just there. He's landing at a 16 left. He's landing on the runway that we're going to depart from. So we've got a taxi just over this way behind the control tower and those trees. Yes, there are, buddy. Affirm. If you've got it turned on. Okay, so we're crossing a runway here, which is runway 25 and 07. So we're clear left and right. We'll turn the strobes on now while we cross the runway. You'll see they're flashing there on the grass. Good, so he's turned the right way, so he's going to be going on the parallel taxiway away from us, which is good. Some company traffic just there. What version of X-Plane 11? This is 11.26, I believe. And strobes coming off now. And he's in a... yeah, there you go, there's a Virgin 737 just going past us there. Hey, buddy. Okay, so the crew are already in the back, so it's before takeoff checklist, which is flaps are 5 green light and stabilizer trim is 4.9 units set before takeoff checklist is complete. So in real life we'd be crossing the freeway now that goes under Sydney Airport. I'll just give us a little bit more power there, and I think there's time for a quick beer. Deadshot, this is 11.26, I think, release 2, R2, which I think has been released. So, yeah, one thing that X-Plane do quite well is a lot of releases and updates, which is nice. Some of them don't always go too smoothly. I hear that the next version of X-Plane 11.30 has some fairly substantial bugs with virtual reality, and at the moment they're recommending that people don't use it. Yeah. Okay, so this is Bravo 10 just here. Yep, and we're going to turn left just here. Causa, how are you, buddy? Welcome, welcome. So it looks like I lied about that dodgy weather in Sydney. It's starting to fine up. Yeah, we got one on final. It's looking not too bad here. So we've got a Jetstar flight just over there. I don't know if you guys can see him coming down the taxiway there. He's just landed off 16 left. He's coming back down. How much do you buy X-Plane for, and did you get it off Steam? So no, I didn't. I bought it off the X-Plane website. I think it's about $60 US. Yeah, you got the Navitab of it. Yeah, it's just here. Navitab, charts. No, it's not there. It's under the airports page. Oops, you're gonna get me distracted. I'm gonna go off the taxiway here. So if we go, in VR, Causa, it doesn't allow me to input on Avitab in this, unfortunately. But yes, it's in there. I'll show you when we get into cruise if you like. Alrighty, so we've got parking brake on. Alrighty, so we are not clear. We've got one on the left here. I don't know if you guys can see the white light and the strobes coming over. He's just almost crossing the start of the airport now, so we'll wait for him. Well, Causa, you can get, I can get Avitab this way. The light, big, juicy version of Avitab. This guy, whoops, here, if I go Y, whoops. SSY, enter. Whoops, no. Helps if I can put it in Y, SSY, enter. And if I go, where is it? Next. Yeah, it's loading now. There you go. when it wants to load up. So it's not as fast as the desktop app yet. Here we go, guys. There's a Qantas 737 or something like that. There you go. Alright, we're clear on final. So as you can see, there's the Navigraph chart. It puts a nice little overlay there, but it's daylight, which I don't like. It's very bright to the nighttime chart. So we'll just get rid of you now. That one, plugins, Navi tab and toggle you. Okay, so it's time to go. So we'll go ahead now and switch you to you. Hello, what was that? Oh, Barbs, thank you so much for the $10 donation and kicking us and getting us off on our journey of raising money for the Red Cross Australia, which is a fantastic Australian organisation. Barbs, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting such a great organisation. Remember, guys, 100% of your donation does go through to charity, and I do it live or at the end of the month. So, Barbs, again, thank you so much, buddy. Okay, guys, well, I better shut up now. We better get going. So, let's get going. You anti-collision light, you're on. We've got traffic there. Traffic Sydney, velocity at 973, IFR 737-800, now departs runway 16 left for the Kevin 6 departure, enter transition, departing for the north, Traffic Sydney. Okay, so we're clear on the left, we're now clear on the right, let's go. Okay guys, as usual, you are my virtual FOs, everyone on the stream, so if you see something during the takeoff roll that you don't like, please sing out, and I will review it and make the assessment about what action we take. Abort. We haven't even started yet. You have both engines during takeoff roll, too easy. Yeah, that's exactly right, buddy. We got it made. Okay, so we're grabbing both engines and up to 40%, looking for them both to come up together, which they have. Let's punch it. Okay, grabbing the yoke, a little bit of forward pressure on the yoke, standard procedure for the takeoff roll. Hand stays on the throttle until V1. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Check.
V1, rotate. Positive brake.
Positive brake, you're up.
And his name is John C.
American Veteran, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Okay, so there's our left-hand turn and our acceleration height of 1,000 feet. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Yeah, I can do that. How are you, American? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Okay, so out over the ocean we go. Alrighty, whoops, that was the wrong button. After takeoff checklist. We need some light. Ugh. As I shoot up through the climb there. Okay, after takeoff checklist, engine bleeds are on, packs are auto, landing gear is up and off, And flaps are up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Okay, over to weather. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with the weather in Sydney. It was definitely worse earlier today, so yep. I'll go up to 25 for now. I think we'll let the crew up. Maybe we'll let the crew up through this cloud. Actually, after we get through this cloud lever here, we have nothing on the weather returns, so you know what, fuck it. Crew up. American veteran, are you you're a fan of sort of X-plane flying, are you, or that sort of stuff, or 7.3, or? Causer, you wanted me to hand fly it all the way to cruise level, didn't you? I think my left hand's gonna give out before then. Can't drink any beer while I'm doing this.
Soft.
Well, you didn't die, so there's that. Yeah, that's true.
NCD.
Okay, there's 10,000, so standard lights are off. Standard. And 10,000 direct to entrant. We definitely outclimb that, so left legs. Oh, no. Race.
That's a good point.
Turn you on. What, buddy?
Letting the crew up just as you enter a 30-degree bank.
That's fine.
All
Smoothly does it.
all 1G flying, mate.
Nah, she'd be right. It's smooth as, mate. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's their leg day. Yep, it's leg day. They'll be fine. What am I doing here?
They can just serve drinks to the left-hand side of the aircraft first.
Larrikin, how come that didn't work? Did you spell it right?
Larrikin. Look out. What's that even meant to do?
A sound. If you do exclamation mark commands, it should give you a list of commands.
That screams of effort.
Exclamation mark barber for that pack one. Why isn't that
Jesus.
working?
Mike's back again.
How's the light on the flight deck, guys? Would you, do you guys want to any brighter at all? It's a little bit of stuff out there to the right, and over there. How come my sounds aren't working? Sorry guys, I don't know why that's not working. Maybe check one of the other ones besides barrel roll. Maybe it's one of the other ones that's busted.
It's over 9,000!
Swalk 4347. Oh yeah, find a hurricane. So there's a bit of a timeout between being able to play the sounds, so I don't get spammed. I think it's like a minute or two. What's your frequency, Barbs?
35.6. Guys hit me up on chat to ask if I'm extending to Sydney. I said no, I can't extend to Sydney. So he gets on frequency and requests push and start.
Perfect. Alright, I'll let the guests up now. Good to see that he's listening to you. Did some damn night vision. Where are you flying to and from? Where? So we're out of Sydney, so one of the largest cities in Australia, up to Brisbane, my hometown. A flight that the exact flight I did today in real life. Can you ask Greg if he's extending to Los Angeles, please? I need to clearance. Yeah, Greg, we've got another question, mate. Are you extending to Los Angeles? There's a guy on the ground that needs clearance.
Yeah, call me for push and start, mate.
Yeah, cool. You got to call him for push and start, buddy. Guys on the stream, is it a little bit dark in the flight deck? Do you want me to turn a light on? Do you want me to turn this guy on? Is that a little bit better? Or this guy? Is that a little bit better for the stream, or do you prefer it a little bit darker? What do you like to see on the stream, guys? No light, please. So turn it off.
I like it black.
All dark. Like my men. I mean, coffee. Oh, this is awkward. The best feature in the Zivo 737 is the fact that I can grab this light, I can grab my hand, turn this light on, which lights up my checklist on my yoke, and I can grab this light and move the light around onto the yoke. How cool is that feature? How cool is that? It's like a real light source. Alright, we need to contact Center, I think.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right, though?
I what you were saying.
Oh, okay. Brisbane Centre, very good evening. Velocity 973 is with you.
Shit, what's my call sign?
Overhead enter on climb through flight level 250.
Obviously, 973 Brisbane, very good evening. You're identified. Clear for flight band on plane route 2, Brisbane, climbing on flight level 370. Cleared to Brisbane via Bandit planned route climb flight level 370, velocity 973. Cause I don't know if you guys have ever been in a fixed base simulator, but
you know, you might fly the 737 fantastic on the desktop. You know, you're flying the PMD G73, you're in your zone, you've got everything, you know where everything is. You go and sit in like a fixed base simulator, even like one of those SimFests or whatever whatever they're called. And because you're out of your comfort zone, you tend to forget a little bit. You tend to not feel very comfortable. And when I got into VR, it was the exact same feeling. I knew how to fly this because I've flown this around the world a couple of times. And when you get in here and you're in 3D space, it's a little bit disconcerting and a little bit unfamiliar, if that makes sense. A bit of crap out the right hand side there, even at this altitude. Yeah, it is the mouse. Yeah, yes and no. Can you just get that for me, mate? Thanks.
Fucking spam calls.
Are you currently happy with your dog walking service? I'd freak out if I found myself in a VR cockpit. When you're, yeah, like that day when I flew into Sydney with the really gusting winds and I was really working hard to get the aircraft down. Yeah, your brain has only got so much capacity, and then it dropped the fact that it dropped, so the whole part that was keeping me out and going, hey, you're just in a video game, you're just in VR, that part got dropped to allow me more space for the workload. And yeah, by the time I'd landed, I was pretty sure I was in the real thing, and it was a horrible feeling lifting up the headset to realise that I was just
three track shortening direct band are available at once.
I don't know, just go in direct bander, mate.
Sorry, I was getting bored.
You go ahead for Velocity 973. How do I say your name?
Velocity 973, you're included band up.
Direct bander plan route, Velocity 973. Let me just fix that up in the FMC. Bang, done.
Just get that ready in the box, right?
Yeah, mate, sorted. Confirm?
Next.
Copy. Uncle Dip in Dutch. Oh, okay. Uncle Jip. Okay. Well, hey, Uncle, if I can call you that.
Brisbane Cino Tiger 456 requesting the team to call data.
Sure, why not? Thanks, buddy. I'm horrible with names, so I come up with nicknames for everyone.
You ready, request flight level 110, Tiger 456.
When ready, descend to 9,000.
9,000, Tiger 456.
Did you give him a QNH with that?
Yeah, the first time I did.
Oh, did ya? Copy. That's friends. I love it.
I might have given him the wrong QNH, but we'll fix that up later.
That doesn't matter.
I can amend that later.
He's not going to need it up there. All my Dutch friends too. Love it. Cool. That's good. I'm cool. I want to get 1, 2, 3 sim. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty nuts. It's funny though, as you think about that, you can spend like 100,000, 120, 150,000 on a fixed base simulator, and yeah, two of you can enjoy it. But the way VR's going and the rate in which it's getting better and all that sort of stuff, for $5,000 or even $10,000, you could get yourself an amazing VR setup and desktop setup that will give you almost the same thing, and you don't need all that space and that room and complexity and learn how to do all that stuff. So yeah, VR is definitely getting there as a really decent alternative to building a full fixed base simulator. Yeah, the F14, I can't wait. Yeah, there's a couple of my subscribers and followers that we fly with in DCS.
Can you get slapped on the wrist by Trent in VR?
No, unfortunately. trumpets can still follow you though.
That's true. Should find some.
Nah, I've turned that off. Sorry, mate. You ever go find some other slacker to do that too? Yeah, the F-14 I can't wait for. The thing I love about the F-14 is both of us can be even VR and flying that together, and that's really awesome. Who's Trent? Oh shit, Mike now wants to know who Trent is. Should we just say an associate?
A friend of Sean's.
Fucking bullshit, a friend of mine. Yeah, so I mean the headset's only about this headset for an example is $600 Australian. The next generation of headsets that are coming out, like the Pimax headsets, they're roughly about the same price, but the thing that lets them down is the hardware available. So there's no PC that can run the 8K headset that they're releasing at the native resolution. The PC doesn't exist yet. Our technology just hasn't got there. So in the next couple of years, I think you'll start to see us hit a very good sweet spot where the resolution won't be so much of a limiting factor. Not that I think it's truly limiting at this point, but you're going to really see that. You're going to see a hell of a lot more people flying in VR, which will be fantastic. I heard Barbara is keen to follow over the musical aviator. Mike knows who the musical aviator is. Yeah, Marky, either can I. The 2 players of the Tomcat's going to be awesome. I'll stream it, of course, which will be really cool. For those of you who are new, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follows. If you look down below on the stream information, you'll see that there's a link to Discord. I highly recommend for those of you who like the content that you see here and like my streams to jump on Discord. We have a whole host of information that we all share about Elite Dangerous, about DCS, about X-Plane and how to configure it and all this sort of stuff. So it's a fantastic way for you to be with like-minded people. It's great. And one of the reasons I say that is, for those of you who don't know, World Flight 2018 is the first week of November, so it's coming up. And I've got a poll active at the moment to... Oh, fuck. I've got a poll active about which aircraft I fly. So I've got up there the PMDG 747-8 in prepared. I've got the aircraft that I flew last year, which is the PMDG 777, and I've also got this as an option. And I think at the moment it's a pretty close tie, or almost a tie between the PMDG 777 and this, where I'll be flying World Flight in VR. So I do encourage you all to join, and if you go to the stream announcements, and if you just scroll up a little bit, you'll see a poll that we've got active there. I'd really appreciate some votes on what you guys think you'd like to see for a week worth of streaming, 10 hours a day for a week.
It's clear to leave control area defending the area 2H1012 now.
It's going to fall off.
And there's no reported IFR traffic for the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Mike, I think I'll just fly it solo.
2H1012 and no traffic. 456.
Oh, we're getting a few bumps here. Yeah, a couple of little bumps. If I zoom in, whoops, not wrong button. If I zoom you into, we see the little vector going left and right. Yeah, ever so slightly. Just a couple of little bumps. Nothing to worry about. And there is coming up to 370. What am I looking up there? Over here. Ooh. Alright, we got some bumps ahead by the looks of it. Yum yum, flying is your hobby? Uncle, I work in the airlines, so I do a fair bit of flying around the place there, but flying definitely is a hobby for me outside of work, absolutely. Wait, do you play Elite Dangerous? I do. My love for Elite Dangerous is waning at the moment. and I don't mean to offend anyone if anyone truly likes Elite Dangerous, but I kind of feel like I need a little bit more in it. It does feel a little bit like Space Truck Simulator.
Close past 0, when you click the boring left to maintain flight level track, yeah.
I like something like Star Citizen where you can play as first person, then get into your ship, in and out of your ship, run around with a gun, and all that sort of stuff. I like a little bit more. Menzies. Menzies is one of our contractors as well. They do a lot of ground handling for us. So yeah, that's awesome, Uncle. Ramp supervisor. You get to see a fair bit of weather there, wouldn't you? Does it snow there? Ooh. I think we might chuck the seatbelt sign on here in a minute. Where you work. Shiphole. Shiphole? Is that how you say it? I don't know if does it snow there? Does it get cold enough to snow? When will you fly the Scarebus 330? I'm thinking about getting. The thing for me is that they need to make it VR friendly. If it's not VR friendly, Mike, yeah, I'm in X-Plane. If I shifted all from prepared 3D, which I'd flown for years, into X-Plane, I fly virtual reality. So because it's done so well, so the aircraft I fly in X-Plane have to be VR ready, and I don't think the 330 is. I know it's 17 degrees. Does it ever snow there? Direct banter available. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. A very good evening to you all, and welcome aboard Virgin Australia Flight 973 from Sydney through to Brisbane. We do apologise for the delay to your service out of Sydney. Unfortunately, we just had a few checks there that ran a little bit over time to make sure that the aircraft was safe to fly. With safety being our number one priority here at Virgin Australia, we needed to make sure that we thoroughly completed those checks. Well, we are very much underway now. We're up at 37,000 feet, and well on our way through to Brisbane. The weather in Brisbane isn't looking that great. There are some thunderstorms in the area, and I will get back to you a little bit later with some updated weather for our arrival. At this stage, I am now going to turn the fasten seatbelt sign on. We have got a little bit of weather ahead of us here in the cruise segment of the flight, so I do appreciate it if you could return to your seats and make sure that your seatbelt is securely but comfortably fastened. Thank you. Okay, seatbelt sign is on.
Safety is our number one priority, secondary to
on-time performance. Yeah, I was going to say, Uncle, I have only ever seen one of our aircraft de-iced, and that was in Melbourne on a freakishly cold morning. We had to de-ice the wings and the horizontal stabilizer. I don't think we did the horizontal stabilizer actually, just the wings. Popping the emergency exits, getting out there on the wing. That was interesting. Okay, well that's out. I think we need Deb to get us another one. She never listens to us anymore.
I have a serious alcohol problem.
You know, what's the saying? You're a pilot with a, well, some people call me with a pilot. What's the saying?
What? Say what? No, my serious alcohol problem is I am almost out of scotch.
Oh shit, that is serious. Well, are you an alcoholic with a? No, are you a pilot? Oh, hang on, let me think of that for a sec. Are you a pilot with a drinking problem? No, I'm an alcoholic with a flying problem. That's it.
Right. I'm glad we got there. Yeah.
Got there in the end. I'm a few beers in, so things are getting a little slow.
Direct bander available.
Go mate, direct bander. Direct bander velocity 973. Ah, yeah, nice. Nice, uncle. Okay, guys, on the stream, can I ask for your involvement here? Can I get a meta for Brisbane? So if you go METAR, the code for Brisbane, you do a space, and the code for Brisbane is Yankee Bravo Bravo November. If I can get one of those in the chat, that would be great. Thanks, Mike. When it's winter weather here, it's -5 to -8. That means we need to do almost everything. Geez, that'd be cold on the ramp. Absolutely. Okay. So Brisbane. So 8:30 that weather observation was taken. So 35 minutes ago. So 350 at 12. Good visibility, but there's rain. Oh yeah, I got a few thunderstorms in the vicinity. Few at 1800 feet. Broken at 1004. Sorry, flight level 140 if I can speak. Broken at 165. Few CBs at 3500. Temperature 23. Dew point 21. QNH 1010. There's an inter that is active now, with that visibility coming down to 4,000 meters. Showers in the area. Broken at 1200. There's a tempo that is active now for variable at 20, gusting 40. That visibility coming down to 2,000 meters. Showers. Thunderstorms and rain. Broken at 1,000 feet and scattered CBs at 4,000. Yeah, right. So there's some shit down there. Yeah. 1010. What we got? Would you recommend SkyMax Pro 4 or X-Enviro for X-Plane, mate? DMK, are you flying VR? If you're flying VR, neither. If you're not flying VR, I think X-Enviro is the way to go. It's almost a pretty much complete whole weather system as well. DJ Sean, if you need to know how to land in bed with a musical AVS, some great videos. Even one where he puts a ventilator on it too. That's I shouldn't ask. Yeah, I am aware of that one, Mike, but I pass no judgment. He's just yeah, he's having a bit of fun. That's So it looks like we've got a bit of fun and games down there in Brizzy, which will be nice. Hopefully it throws the worst at us. I feel like doing a bit of work. Yeah, fair enough, DMK. Well, X-Enviro is probably the way to go. I was pretty impressed with that. Using 01, we'll just use the ILS. Check Streamlabs when you get a chance. Alright, Larrikin, I certainly will, buddy. Some brand new commands for flight to now for yeah, Project
501.
NDB circle to land. Mike, I was keen to do a little bit of work, but not that much. Fuck, actually, I didn't even be keen to shoot the VOR. We got a VOR into 01? Probably better start bringing. Probably better do some work. Bring some shots up here for Brisbane. What do we got? So I'll get the taxi chart up here for a start. Airport briefing. That's not the one I want.
501, no.
Airport star. What is it? A Gold Coast 2 Alpha or something like that? Yeah, 2 Alpha runway 01. That one. Approach. What have we got into 01? Oh, you had a VOR 01.
Velocity 3.
Go ahead for velocity 973.
Velocity 973 cleared the Gold Coast 2 Alpha arrival runway 01, maintain flight level 370.
The Gold Coast 2 Alpha arrival for runway 01 and maintain flight level 370, velocity at 973. The did it do that? Definitely some bugs there. Okay, well that's not right. We need to fix that guy up.
That ain't right.
Nah, not at all. Isla Zulu for runway 01. Where's that shot? Hey, Barbs.
Yeah.
You can see that, can't you? You can see me in the charts at the moment, can't you?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Alright, so that's the guy we want. So I'm going to chuck you over here. Oh, Uncle, sorry mate, I missed
Wouldn't
that.
it load?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't loaded, so I'm just going to have to fix it up. There's a little bug in this version of Zippo that I'm going to have to report. Sydney to Amsterdam. I've seen that Qantas also make a flight from Sydney to London, so I'm going to do Amsterdam today. Yeah, nice, Uncle. Awesome. At what, in the 7-8? Let me just go ahead and fix this up, guys. Give me 1 second. So we've got Gold Coast there. So where's Glenn?
A380, isn't it? That one?
Oh, is it? Movie.
Oh, 7-8.
Birdie, BRTI.
Oh, sorry, he's doing Sydney to London. He's doing Sydney to Amsterdam.
Can you make that?
Perth to London. Right, yeah.
Okay, we'll go with the top one for now. Yeah, that looks about right. To Birdie. From Birdie we go to Escan. Sorry guys, just give me a second here. I'm just fixing this up here at the second. Just get this all organised here. Escan. From Escan it's then to Glen. So we just need to put the height and speed restrictions in. Yeah, start from Perth, I think. City to Amsterdam is doable. Just have some news from Touch Cafe. Anything's possible then, right? Alright, so what do we got? CG, no height restriction. Movie, we want to be under flight level 120 or below. Movie slash 120B. Birdie, we want to be at 7,000 or below. Escan 230 at 5,000 or below. 230 slash 5,000 or below at Escan. And 3,000 or above, and max 185, which we've got set there. And I'm just going to get rid of that there. Okay, so progress, turn you on. Ah, we are a simple Dutch bakery. 61.7, 62, 63.3. 63.2, 63.2, one, auto brake 2, 109.5, which we've got. So guys, what I'm just going to do is just going to go ahead and get the aircraft set up for our arrival, and then I'll come back and do a bit of a briefing and explain everything. What is it? 016. Just with top of descent at about 80 miles. I'll get it done, get the briefing out of the way, and we'll get the descent checklist out of the way. And that way, we'll get everything done before top of descent, and we don't get caught out that way. 016. 220 is set, 016, 016. Leave that, you're set. 1095, 1132, I think it is actually, 1132. Fix BN/110/50/10. Not much of a visibility out the window for tonight's flight, guys. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do now is the arrival briefing. If anyone's got any questions on the stream, please let me know. But I'm just going to go through what I've done to configure the aircraft for landing, brief the arrival, and then we'll do the descent checklist. Okay, so we've been cleared the Gold Coast to Alpha arrival, so it is chart 10-2G effective the 16th of August. There's a nice speed restriction there of max 250 knots below 10,000, which we've got, which is fairly standard. It calls for us to go over the top of Gold Coast here, where we then turn left to movie at or below 120, which we've got set there. CG.
Plus 501 wind.
Descent 240. Okay. So movie at or below 120.
Ready down.
Sorry, flight level 120 or below. Then we've got Bertie is the next one, which is 7,000 feet or below, which we've got there. Then it's Eskin, which we've got at 230 knots at 5,000. And then, I missed one, Rumro. RUMRO.
On a 491.
I missed one. That's why we did it. It's
283.
which is after Escan.
Well, 491 Brisbane Telegraph 4.
Which is slash 4,000 or above.
4361 on a 490.
There we go. My apologies there, guys. Tron. Oh, you meant the east coast of Australia. I tuned in to see this confused while you were flying into Brisbane on the east coast flight. I was thinking New York to Massachusetts. Sorry, Tron. You should try it. Waffle make. Oh, God. Sounds alright. That sounds alright, Uncle. Oh, so do I spy a Dutch person. Okay, so from Rumro, 4,000 or above, and we got Glenn there at max 185, where we'll then jump on the ILS. So speaking of the ILS, this is chart 11-1, effective the 19th of July for the ILS Zulu runway 01. It's heading. It's course 016 1095 is the frequency which we've got set there, and we've got the VOR 113.2 set on that side. 220 knots for our
if you could report maintaining
our decision height, which we've got set there. It's going to be a flaps 40 landing for this one, which means it's going to be 139 for the touchdown speed, and we'll go +5 on that, so 144 down the approach. If we do need to go around, the missed approach is track 016 climbed to 3,000 or directed by ATC. It's fairly straightforward. If we look at the minimum safe altitude around...
When ready to safe flight level 190.
When ready 190, velocity 973. Sorry guys, just stand by while we plug that in. Fuck it. Fuck it. I pressed a button by accident. Level change. 178. Sorry guys, I accidentally pressed the altitude intervention switch there, which starts our descent.
Velocity 973, maintaining flight level 37.
Fuck off, Barbs. AFM, our apologies, we've just dropped there, we're coming back to 370, velocity 973. What a bitch. Come on buddy, get back up there. She won't go back up. Level change, altitude hold.
Velocity 973. You cleared him at block flight level 350-370.
Copy, clear for the block 35 to 370, velocity 973. That won't go. That won't climb back up. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
Drop the speed back.
Oh, we're only at 82% N1.
Oh. Oh, is that the limit though? What's your limit?
99.9.
Oh, okay. That's odd.
Yeah,
What's
just
your
a little
mode? What's your FMA say?
Where do you want me to look?
On your PFD.
CP, LNAV, altitude hold. I don't want. Oh.
You're in altitude hold, yeah.
No, yeah, I know, but I've
I think because you tried to level change from within 300 feet.
1,000 to go.
There we go.
If you go to vertical
yeah, that's
speed,
where we go.
Real.
There we go. We got there in the end. Who we got? Oh, Uncle, thank you so much for the follow, buddy. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Thank you so much. There we go. If we plug you back in, maintain 370, you cheeky bugger. Okay, so we've gone through the missed approach scenario. So looking at the minimum safe altitude within 10 nautical miles, we've got 3,800 around this side of the field because we've got some mountain ranges just around here. But to the east of the field is down to 2,100. So if we need to go around, it is again missed approach is track 016, climb to 3,000. If we don't go around, it is auto brakes 2 here, so we're coming into runway 01. So our ultimate goal is to aim to get off on here on Alpha 4. Failing that, sorry, no, Alpha 4S. Or Alpha 5S if we pull up in time. Failing that, we'll get off on Alpha 4. Failing that, we'll get off on Alpha 3. Failing that, we'll get off on Alpha 1. Failing that, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and then it's straight into the back. We'll just come back here via Alpha and jump over here onto Charlie 3, Charlie 4, Charlie 5, or 6 into one of the bays just here. Alrighty, well that's the arrival briefing. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. Actually, we haven't finished the arrival briefing. We've spoken about it a little bit, but we haven't. Well, it's probably a little bit big now. Let's zoom you in a little bit. A little bit smaller. Sorry guys, can I... Actually, I can do it right here. I don't need... Oops, menu, ACARS, ATIS, YBB, and I just want one that I can refer to without the chat eating it. So let me just send that and get the updated weather here for Brisbane. I do just want to have a little bit of a chin wag here about the weather. So there we go. So we're cleared to 190. Now that we're holding, let's just make sure that we got set. We were cleared to 190, so let's go ahead and put that in now. We haven't got a top of descent point, but we have got a vertical profile there, so that's okay. So we're just going to watch that. So 190 is set. We've got the weather in, so we have got wind at 360 at 13, good visibility, few clouds at 3,000, broken at 170. I feel like the weather's going to be good by the time we get... I feel like the weather's going to be good down here because I don't know if it takes into account any of this stuff. But we have got the interactive, which is active now without showers and that visibility coming in, so we should expect that. We should also expect some low cloud down to 1,200 feet. Minimums are 220 feet, so that's okay. Heat bangs and clouders there. We also got a tempo active, so we might have some gusting winds there, but we'll just play that by you. We might go VREF plus 10 when we get down there if it is quite gusty. So we should expect a fairly flat orientation of the aircraft, or maybe even a slight nose down on the approach. If that visibility does come right in though, we'll deal with that. And if we do get any wind shear alerts, we will treat them as genuine and take the appropriate action. And there's some thunderstorm activity in the area with some CBs around 4,000 feet and some broken cloud down to 1,000 feet moving through. Okay, so what we'll do now is that vertical speed is slowly creeping in, so we'll do a descent checklist and just get it out of the way nice and early. The descent checklist, the pressurization landing altitude is 50 feet, the recall's been checked, the auto brake is level 2, the landing data is VREF 139 and the minimum is 220 feet, and the approach briefing has been completed. Descent checklist complete. Alt F4. Come on, Barbs. I'll turn the fasten seatbelt sign off now. Okay, that's coming down. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We are just a couple of short minutes from our top of descent into Brisbane, where the local weather isn't that fantastic. It's quite similar to Sydney there, where we've got some low cloud and showers passing through the area with some thunderstorms. We do anticipate a few bumps as we get down through the lower levels, so that fasten seatbelt sign will come on shortly. So if you do need to use the facilities, we do suggest that you do so now, as we will be turning that fasten seatbelt sign on relatively soon. The boxes will be touching down at 9 minutes to the hour, and we'll aim to have you on the bay shortly after that. Again, from all of us, we do appreciate you choosing to fly Virgin Australia this evening, and we trust you've had a pleasant flight. Thank you and good evening. Okay, and there's top of descent now, so we should go down. No, wrong button, and intervene. There we go.
Yep.
Landing already, but in-flight movie hasn't even finished yet. Yeah, I think it got a bit stuffed up with the intervene before. And I set a velocity 973, vacating 370.
Velocity 973.
Yeah, we might chop on the boards there. Get some speed brake out. Regain the profile, and then we'll come off the boards.
Order 501 to 210,000, QNH 1021.
Story of my life, I reckon, on these flights. You just get into the good part, and then it's time for top descent. Okay, we are regaining that vertical profile. We're about 1,000 feet above it now as it's coming in, and as we do get a little bit closer, we'll start coming off the speed brakes there, and hopefully it'll recapture it. Hopefully. It's gone really quiet in the chat. You guys all still there? Yep, okay, cool. Alright, jumping off the boards now. I'm on FSX. Ah, rightio. Good-o.
And his name is John C.
Ooh, how do I say that? Massacre? I don't know. Sorry for making a total hash of your name. Welcome to the stream, my friend. If you've got any questions, please shout out. Welcome.
Fuck, blue screen.
Oh, really? I might do a save actually while we think about it, because I've just had a blue screen of death, so we might just do a quick save.
Yeah, I think I've got a bad sector on my SSD or something.
Yeah, right.
As soon as it tries to access that for virtual memory,
Well, you got some dodge memory, and when it gets climbs up through that, it triggers it.
maybe, I don't know. Yeah, perhaps.
Just sell it to Shirley and get another one.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Ooh, there we go. Seatbelt sign on. Oh, I bet yours is, Uncle, absolutely.
Velocity 973.
Yes?
Yeah, hang on. I'm in my own voice channel.
Copy. Do you want me to go down to 12,000?
Yeah, I was going to say 9,000 QNH 1010.
9,000 on 1010, velocity 973. Up! Bit of rain there. Up, engage hyper mode. Engage warp drive. Punch it, Chewie. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop leaving water on my windscreen. Jesus. That looks real, explained. So how many parsecs are we doing a second?
Nah, it's fucked, mate. You're on your own.
Okay, roger. What is this, space travel? I know, AG, right? Come on, explain. Surely you can do a better rain than this.
Can you just broadcast on frequency apologies and my computer crashed?
Yeah, all stations, this frequency. Apologies, Brisbane Centre's computer has crashed and he's not available anymore. Unicorn 1228. Done.
Shit. Rain looks like you're in hyperspace.
I know, it doesn't look horrible.
Are you playing Space Truck Simulator?
Yeah, mate, I'm just about to come into CMOS.
Finally!
Finally. Welcome aboard version of Sorry Flagship Space Shuttle. Today's flight is a distance of 455 parsecs, which should only take 12 minutes. Please fasten your seatbelt and hold the hell on. Are you playing Elite now?
Ludicrous speed. Yeah, that's awesome.
Engage ludicrous speed, that's right. Ah, shit. It's like we got the landing lights on and it's lighting up all the
Oh, look at that highway. That looks cool.
That's the highway from the Goldie.
Eh.
Didn't know Virgin Galactic started flying Sydney to Brisbane. Maybe we should do some fuel scooping. That's true. I don't need fuel scooping. What have we got? 3 ton on board. We've got enough to get us to Rocky. Ah, shit. What's all that? Some VFR buzzards down there, is there?
Ah, man, it's green. Oh, what are those things?
Yeah, true about the traffic.
They're not on Vatsim.
That's weird. OG, not shared cockpit for this flight. No, I've got a friend in Discord with me. Your hauler traffic comes online when that nasty controller Barbs logs off.
Yeah, I'm fucking scary.
This fucking weather. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna search after I get off this. I'm gonna search the Explain forums.
Departing for Sydney.
To see if I can get a replacement for this rain. This hyperspace effect. Standard 1010. We'll go. Landing lights on now. Logo light on. What are we? +9. No, we're good. I don't need any anti-ice. No, I don't know if this is because of VR. I think this is pretty standard for certain rain and X-Plane, isn't it, guys? Mike. Yours never looks like this. Oh, maybe it is a VR thing then, Blue Pill. Because I know that the stars look a bit bright at the moment. They're fixing that, so maybe it will be fixed in 3.0. So what's your spaceship call sign? Velocity, so VOZ 973. It's bad, but not this bad. This takes it to a whole new level. Agent Zulu Alpha, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the stream. If you've got any questions, please shout out. Oh, that's not so bright anymore. That's a bit better. You have a lot of Tron, your jokes are getting worse.
1,000 to go.
Back to warp 2. Yeah, no shit. You're very welcome, Agent. You and I gotta fly this thing, dual pilots, Barbs.
You think?
Yeah. I'll be the captain though, you can be the bitch.
DJ Sean, have you ever been in a cockpit before? You ever been in a Turkish prison?
Do you like movies about gladiators? Oh shit. Okay, I'll get the water off the windscreen. I'll take care of yours too, Barbs. There you go, mate.
Never stops being funny. Thanks, mate.
There you go, buddy. Raining again. What's a hospital?
Not raining.
It's a big place where there's sick people, but that's not important right now. Alright guys, I might just dim the lights a little bit here on the panel. I do like a bit of darkness here when we're coming in for our night light, for our eyes. So you can see us there. We're shooting down the down the arrival. So I might quickly jump that over to the ILS now as we're getting a little bit closer. go.
Good luck, we're all counting on you.
I thought the zombie apocalypse starts. That's true, Agent. Actually, that's if movies have taught us anything, that's true. A few bumps here. We can see a little bit a wobble in left and right there on the vector. Okay, well obviously we've gone out of the clouds here for a little bit. You can see Brisbane Airport just up there off the right hand side. Hopefully we come into a bit more cloud before we get to Brisbane. That's going to frickin' suck.
Holy shit, that's bright.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fixing it in the next version.
Ah, the good old fixed in the next version line.
Apparently. The lights are so bright here in VR. I don't think they're bright for you guys. Oh, the stars, sorry. It's like I chose the wrong week to quit sniffing Clue. So you good luck, we're all counting on you. Oh man, I'm gonna be pissed if
I feel like this is an appropriate time to post the picture I made of you when you took the photo of yourself in hospital.
Sure. Upside down.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna be really pissed if we land like this because the weather is a bit worse than this. Man, it's like almost cav-okay. Fucking explain weather. Resorting to bad space jokes I found online to drive my short, terrible chat career and colony into the ground. So what do aliens on the metric system say? Take me to your leader. Oh, Tron. Lord in heaven. Nah, drag required, we'll acknowledge that. Do we need some drag required? 230, yeah, we'll just give it a smidge.
Holy shit.
And we'll go down to 3,000. Ah, it's raining again! 3,000. There's 5,000, doubled in the crew. I think Brisbane Thunder should join the Blacker 2 Alpha rival. I can't worry about you. Okay, so I got the glide slope up.
I figured out why I had no scotch left.
Are you drunk at all?
I had about half a bottle of it in my glass.
Okay, flaps up. We might go flaps 1. Let's go down, keep you going down there. Thanks. Alrighty, we're cleared for the approach. So the approach checklist is altimeters 1010 set, 1010 set, and 1010 set. Approach checklist complete. Okay, we'll go VOR lock. There's definitely a bit of crap there to the right of the airport, or right of our approach. With the wind coming in, it's going away from us. There's Archerfield. Okay, there's the turn for the onto the runway. Copy that, Tron. Okay, we've picked up the VOR lock. We'll arm approach now. Continue to slow down. We'll go down to flaps 5. Oh, come on, weather. Give me something a bit worse than this. God damn it.
It's a bit on the radar.
Yeah, where is it?
Stupid X-plane.
Stupid X-plane. Flaps 10. Glide slope, gear down. Mike, these are all good questions, buddy. Fucking explain. Yeah, this is real weather agent.
25.
Where is it? Where is my... dust? Where is dust weather? God damn it. Look! Go! It's raining. It's raining again. It's not raining anymore.
You're going to get to about half a mile at 300 feet and be able to see nothing.
Yep, you're totally fucking right. Okay, so it's on 144. Let's continue going down there. So more flap. It's 15. Flaps 25. Sorry, flaps 30 rather. And 144, flaps 40, landing checklist. Landing checklist is engine start switches are auto for this aircraft, speed brake is armed, landing gear is down and 3 green, and flaps 40, green light, landing checklist complete. Oh, a bit of lightning off to the right there. Alrighty. I have control. We'll get a screen wiper. I have control.
You have control.
So for those of you on the stream, I'm gonna be a little bit busy here for the next minute or two while we land this sucker. So if I ignore anyone on the chat, I do apologise. It's not intentional.
Everyone start chatting now.
We got one at the holding point by the looks of it.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Bridge altitude set.
Checked. Oh shit. That lightning was close. Got 12 knots from the left. We are right a center line. Let's come around to the left here a bit.
Approaching minimums.
Stable.
200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh, that was firm. Decelerating.
Nothing wrong with firm in the wet, mate.
Reverse is up. Sorry, speed brake up. Reverse is normal. We'll miss that one.
550 feet though, that's very firm. It's what we call a positive touchdown.
Brakes released. There was a bit of weather there. That was interesting. And we're clear. Whew. Yeah, you do. You need to break through the water and make sure you don't aquaplane. That's going to be my excuse anyway. Master caution, anti-ice. Wearing lights off. Oh, why are you overturning fucking rudder pedals? So we want a ground chart here. So we want to get you up. Where are we? There. Who doesn't like it hard when it's in the wet? There's another jet taking off, Qantas 553 there. Now we'll go to the next one. You can turn the weather radar off. Keep going, we'll go down to Charlie 5. Tron, thanks buddy, thanks for 10 biddies buddy, to the replacement of your tailbone after that landing. Buddy, it wasn't that bad. 500's pretty bad, that's a pretty solid fucking effort actually, but still. Yeah, so maybe one over here. .44 Alpha, that'll do us. Taxi light on the bus. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. That'll do. Okay, we are on the bus, on the bleeds, shutting down. 1 and 2. Nah, calls out, it doesn't. Nah, not really. Well, I would have liked a little bit worse visibility coming into Brisbane then, truth be told. So, seatbelt sign off, anti-collision light off, wheel well light on, off, off, off. This is the last flight, we'll go you off, and you off, off. Door is unlocked and open. Alrighty, shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist, fuel pumps all off but one for the APU, propede is off, hydraulic panel is set, flaps are up, no lights. Parking brake is set, engine start levers are cut off, weather radar is off and off. Shutdown checklist complete. Yeah, Tron, I know. Oh, and I'll hold you 1 hour and 30 minutes for that one, guys. Welcome to sunny Brisbane. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump out of VR here real quick, and then I'll be back with you guys. Just give me 1 second. Alrighty, so one of the things I'm going to do here, oh come on Zoom, there we go. One of the things I'm going to do here is turn this stream back on so you guys can see me. But if we just jump out of the flight deck here for a second, yeah, it's raining. So it's pissing down rain. There's some clouds there, but the visibility's great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. What is it? FS Global Real Weather. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been fiddling with. I tried the NOAA weather plugin recently, and it never really works for me, and I don't know why. It just never works. So one of the things I've gone back to is X-Plane's default weather engine that updates from real world data. So what I'm going to do now is download the latest weather on FS Global Real Weather, which is an add-on program that I stopped using because I thought it was a bit CPU hungry and didn't really give me the weather that I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that download now. It takes a couple of minutes to download, and then I'm going to do a comparison here with the weather so we can see a bit of a difference between X-Plane's default weather and something like FS Global Real Weather. So what I'm going to do is, if you don't mind, I'm going to put the simulator to daytime here, just so we get some better visibility. Just applied. There we go. Yeah, Milo's right. Your brain kind of just takes care of it for you as well. I didn't see you there, Milo. Welcome. I didn't see you. You pop up there. So this is the visibility. It's actually. It actually looks a little bit like the visibility's come in during the day than it was at night. We definitely look like we had longer visibility here when it was running in nighttime mode. So what I'm going to do is FS Global Real Weather is still downloading. I'm just wondering if I can show you that actually. I'll go here to properties. Does that come up? No, that doesn't show up really well. We can add a window capture, FS Global Real Weather, there you go. So you can see FS Global Real Weather is still downloading. It takes a little while to download. We'll just go and chuck you down here for now. But once that's fully downloaded, we can then inject it into the sim. So I'll clear the sim weather and make it just cav OK, and then I'll eject that weather and see if we can get some better results here. Because I got to tell you, I wasn't happy with the weather. Like when we got over the top of the Gold Coast, it was looking like the weather was going to be really bad. But coming into Brisbane here, I really felt like it could have been better. There we are down there. So what I'll go ahead and do now is complete the flight, complete. Yeah, Larrikin, there was some stuff when we flew over the Goldie. I think we flew over the Goldie about 14,000 feet. Yeah, that's a lot more advanced now than what it looks like here, the new runway. So for those of you who don't know, Brisbane's getting a second runway, and this is the area just here that they've been clearing. It's far more advanced than this now. Yeah, Milo, NOAA doesn't work. So NOAA used to not work at all. I did the NOAA installer from their website. I get clouds, but I don't get wind data and I don't get temperature data. So I don't know. I've given up on NOAA. I tried NOAA, but no luck. Oh, it's getting pulled by a cart. There is a cart there. Fuel truck? I think there was someone coming in behind us too on a blacker arrival, so we'll probably see them coming down runway 01 here shortly. You can see that FS Global Real Weather is something you definitely want to start before your sim, because it's not connected to the sim at the moment. It's downloading all the full world weather, and then you connect it into X-Plane, and then it injects into X-Plane. So it's slowly downloading. Almost there. we finish the spear? We definitely did. Damn it. Almost finished. So what I might go ahead and do now is clear the weather. So go here, weather, we want to go manually configured, and we want to go Cavoc or clear. There we go. Okay, FS Global Real Weather, and there we go. Okay, so now we want to click on, I'll just zoom this in up a little bit, bring it up a little bit bigger. We click on, so we choose the flight simulator that we've got running, and we go start with the transfer. And hopefully, this looks a shitload worse. Bueller? Yeah, right. It doesn't look worse, it looks better. What's it saying here? Brisbane. So it's not reading any of the other stuff either. Review weather station. Oh no, that's just nearest weather station. Okay. So yes, FS Global Real Weather gives us worse results than the default in regards to adverse weather conditions. So all I can say is bring on Active Sky for X-Plane maybe. So one thing we can do though here is we've got one on approach. We've got a Qantas Sky. We've got I can't make him out. Qantas something. What was it? Qantas 491 coming in on final. So we'll watch him before we depart off. They really need to connect the train tracks. I assure you all that they are connected in real life. He hasn't done his thing properly. He's a Delta. It's interesting. Alright, we'll wait for that guy to come in. So yeah, that weather was a bit of a letdown. I do apologise, guys. Download failed. That's news. Never had that before. Done. Resume flight. So yeah, I apologise for the weather. This is typical X-Plane's weather system. It'll be interesting to see how it goes on world flight when we fly around the world. So for those of you who are new on the stream, I do encourage everyone to join my Discord. Bit of a selfless plug, but we do share a lot of information there, which is really beneficial for those who like X-Plane, DCS, Space Truck Simulator. I mean Elite Dangerous. And one of the things I've got there in the stream announcements channel, I've got a poll for which aircraft I'll use during world flight. There's a couple of different options there, including X-Plane, as well as flying something like the 777 and the 747-800. Pharaoh12345, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel, my friend. This Qantas guy's not doing too bad given the fact that he's in a Delta livery on my damn CSL. Doesn't look too bad. I definitely landed on the runway. Alrighty guys, well that's probably going to conclude my stream for tonight. It was only a one sector stream for tonight, unfortunately not a two sector or three sector like I normally do. For all the new followers, welcome to the stream. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Thank you so much, Buzz, for the donation. I really do appreciate the support. 100% of your donations do go through to charity, which we do at the end of the month. So tomorrow night is Variety Game Night. I think I might be playing an old classic which is called Dead by Daylight. It's a fantastic little asymmetrical horror game, which it's one killer versus 4 survivors, and the survivors have got to do some objectives before the killer kills them all. Bye, Larrikin. So it is a cool little game. I do encourage you, if you want to look at something a little bit different, tomorrow night's the night. But I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.